Good evening everyone, and welcome to the Seaford Town Council Planning and Highways Committee meeting today, the 18th of July. I'm just going to read a few bits, so bear with us. Please be aware that the Council is video recording this meeting, and this will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. I'd like to highlight some key points of the meeting format. Please can I ask everyone to have their phones turned off or set to silent. The fire exits are by the doors out of the chamber and down the external fire escape stairs, or via the main entrance that you enter the building through. In the event of a fire, the lift should not be used. The assembly point is outside the Royal Mail Parcel Office in West Street. Please remain seated unless you are invited to speak or need to take a comfort break. Toilet facilities are out in the corridor you entered through. Members of the public are invited to participate in the meeting with the key points as follows. Public participation is limited to a maximum of 4 minutes per person and must be related to an item of business on the agenda. As Chair, I will interject if needed to enforce this. For those looking to speak specifically about a planning or tree works application on the agenda, you will be invited to speak immediately before the committee considers that application. For those looking to speak on non-planning application business, you will be invited to speak during the public participation agenda item. Please raise your hand to show you wish to speak and I will invite you to speak. If you are comfortable standing, please do so to ensure you can be heard across the room. You do not need to state your name when you start speaking if you do not wish to, but we ask that you clearly state which agenda item you are speaking about. I would ask that participants looking to leave the meeting wait until the end of an agenda item to limit distractions for other participants. Members of the public looking to leave the building will need to be escorted out by a council officer. If the meeting goes into confidential session, a 2-minute break will be held to allow members of the public to leave. To all present, please remember to show respect to others in the meeting and avoid interrupting where possible to enable others to follow the meeting. If any councillors feel concerned about any aspect of the meeting or discussion, please clearly state point of order. I will then restrict you to elaborate. If anyone present is felt to be behaving unacceptably, then can be ejected from the meeting by resolution. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the council, I would like to thank everyone attending this town council meeting. Thank you. Move on to agenda item 1, apologies for absence, and I've got Councillor Gordon and Councillor Wilson. Thank you. Item 2, disclosure of interest. To deal with any disclosure by members of any disclosable pecuniary interests and interests other pecuniary interests as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and Localism Act 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda. I've just got one myself. It's South Downs National Park application for Edric House, Bishopstone Village. I'm a trustee for Bishopstone United Charities who look after this dwelling, and I'm also the town council representative, so I will be able to speak now. Agenda item 3, public participation. To deal with any questions or brief representations from members of the public in accordance with relevant legislation and Seaford Town Council policy. Would you like to speak at this point? So we move on to planning applications. Applications received Monday the 17th of June. LW stroke 24 stroke 0417 20 Feldon Rise, part retrospective single story front extension. Anyone else the public like to comment on this application? Open to the committee. Councillor Hanlon.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, we don't normally get front extensions like that, but I think in this case it sort of works. Partly because normally extensions we like a little bit of gap between what's new and what's already there. But because these properties are fairly extensive, I'd be able to support.
I was just going to say I did go and do a drive past, and it's normally obviously they have stopped works, and even though they have more or less got the shell of it up anyway, it doesn't look out of place with what's already there. And they're only just, so even though they're doing it retrospectively, it still looks, when you look at it against the other properties, it doesn't look out of, it's not too wide, it's already sort of just the depth there. So yeah, I'm happy to second this.
Because on the block plan it's still behind the garage line.
Yes.
Any other comments? No seconding. Okay, so can I have a show of hands for supporting this application? It's unanimous. LW stroke 24 stroke 0407 Seaford service station, station approach, single story side extension to cells building, demolition of existing car wash and replacement with new jet wash bays, new company being unit and bin store and associated works. Is that what to comment? Open to the committee, Councillor Hanlon.
Yeah, I did go again when I was doing my drive past. I actually sat, and luckily there was the parking bit. So I sat there for a bit and observed what was going on there. Just because normally just driving past. My concern is with the jet washers. The machine is already quite noisy as it is. When you've suddenly got jet washers going on, that's a different noise level. I don't know exactly what difference in noise it is, but that is quite a bit difference in noise level. And considering there was already, I think, when I looked, there was 2 residents who complained about the fact that with the noise level, with what's currently there, that would actually quite concern me if you've got jet washers going all day, all together. That would concern me with the noise and everything. So.
As a by the by, Morrison's have actually sold their forecourts nationally anyway, so they're not actually Morrison's petrol. Now, whether or not they decide to able still to use the name Morrison's as a trading name for you don't know, do we? That's by the by. And I expect this was probably thought about way before there was going to be a decision nationally. I thought it just puts that bit in a bit of context in that sense, but this would have probably been months ago, because I expect the car wash thing, what's there, it's probably come to the end of its life, and after a certain amount of renovation, you're going to get it so many times. I do agree with Councillor Honeyman in the sense of, yes, I think it would make the noise level even more intrusive, especially after certain times. I don't know if we can put a time limit on any of this. I was thinking, maybe in the daytime more than having it for the evening washes. So I'd be happy if we could do that. So stop it at 6 o'clock for them, and then I'd be more happy, because it's 7 days a week, isn't it? Of course. So I'd be happy to, if we could suggest that we stop the car wash after like 6 p.m. or something. I don't know if that's the correct time, at 8, an earlier time than maybe going on all evening.
I think for noise for things like events, we always say 6 o'clock. It's like a cut-off.
That was actually been suggested by one of the residents who's been complaining has actually said if they actually, rather than at the moment, the car wash is going for all the time it's open, well not all the time it's open, but it will be going, anyone can have a car wash between the open hours, but could the hours be reduced? I have to admit, I'm still concerned about jet washers right on top of residential properties, because there's so much noise here.
I've made a note that possibly some research should go into this application regarding noise
The
levels.
difference in the noise levels.
Let's quickly come back, Chair.
Yes,
Yeah, obviously being a town centre site, I think whatever residents could expect a certain amount of noise with the way you are. So I just think you've got to put it in that perspective up to a point. But because it's.
so I think we've,
Yeah,
I know, like one of the objection letters said, yes, the car wash was there before they moved there, because it's a relatively new building. But I think now that the residents are there, we should give them some consideration. Councillor Pan.
Thank you, Chair. I kind of agree with that. I don't have any idea what the noise from a jet wash is. They look as if they're kind of enclosed. I don't know if there is particular acoustic control that will introduce, but yes, you're right. There's not enough information here to get to understand what the level of noise might be generated by these three jet washes, and whether or not that constitutes a significant or any increase in noise from what's there at the moment. So yeah, some more information would be very good.
Yeah, I concur with what you said. Noise level and time limitation.
So this is a new issue on this, but in the sense of people genuinely enter it from the west go to the east, don't you? But if you only wanted the car wash and you didn't want to get any gas or fuel burning petrol into it, you didn't want to get any gas, then where do you park waiting for? I mean, that's the issues there. It's not. I don't think that's necessarily clear about where you access to it if you're not buying fuel.
That's something that East Sussex Highways has put in their
They have those,
objection.
didn't they?
Yeah, that so they've talked about the lack of space of the internal layout and also the lack of cycle parking, because there's already not much space for parking, and then they haven't considered cycle parking either. But yeah, that's something they've already said. There's not going to be sort of turning space for those that are just trying to leave the pumps.
And it's also people who just want the shop parts.
Yeah, because that's going to be extended anyway, Chair, isn't it, as you can see. But and they will because of where they are, get some customers will be on foot. You get a few like that, picking up a few bits as well, so they won't want the petrol. So you still have to make provision for people to walk on the site as well, haven't you, in that respect as well. So there's a few issues there to be sort of thought through yet, isn't
So
there?
can I have a proposal? It's looking as though we may be objecting to this application.
I would propose that to object to this at this stage, because we don't have enough information for, like what we said, noise level, the effect it's going to have on the residents,
Lack of car parking.
lack of car parking, because it's very tight. If the car was just taken away, it's quite a tight space, and it would have to be very clear that you're coming in one way and go out the other way. So yeah, at the moment I would object to this.
Does that find a second then? Can I have a show of hands of objecting to this application?
And that includes form of words like that's the objection, is it?
Yeah,
You put all that.
Yeah.
Insufficient knowledge and information.
Yeah, I've got here that we're expecting research and noise levels to be carried out. There's not enough information for us to understand what the noise level would be. Obviously, the point on the fact that there are residents now there, so their concerns need to be taken into account, and about the jet washes increase.
Pedestrian use as well.
And the concerns over the space and the
Yeah, because the store's going to, it's almost doubling the size, getting on that way, isn't it?
that takes the bit where people wait to wash their cars now. So, yeah.
Okay, can I have a show of hands objecting to this application? Lovely, that's unanimous. LW's code 24/0380, 37 Barn Close. Variation of condition 1 plans relating to approval of LW's road 23/0362 and non-material amendment LW stroke 23 stroke 0675, enclosure of area below roof canopy to extend living accommodation by building a new cavity wall and front window. Thank you. Open to the committee. Councillor Cameron.
Oh, yeah, I was thank you, Chair. I was just trying to kind of understand what those are, because I remember this coming through before, I believe. So I went back to have a look what the drawings and everything were on the original. Although there's a revision A and now a revision B, I think, on the new one. This diagram is pretty much exactly the same, other than a little bit of the front where it's extended a little bit further than it was previously. You see,
We objected to this one.
Yeah, so we objected to the original.
The two regimes I
That's the one that
on the side.
this is proposed, this is existing. So these are the windows I'm talking about.
This was the one.
So that is the side, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
you didn't comment.
so the side will be near the road. That's what it's trying to think.
Yeah, can you,
Sorry.
Chair,
So,
Councillor Cameron.
Yeah, I did one in my, when I was doing the drive past. They're going to have to move. Yeah, it looks in proportion to where it is. I mean, is it that they're asking, because at the moment they've done the extension, they've done the cladding for the top part, at the moment the lower half of the breeze box. So I was still a bit confused as to exactly what they're asking for. On relocation of driveways, at the moment, their driveway.
This was the first one, sorry.
Sorry, that's the first.
This was the first one that we objected to. So I'll just bring that up first. So this was our original objection. Lewis then decided that they didn't see an impact. Yeah, so that's just the history of it, just so you know where we're at there. So looking at what they're asking for now. So you say this is
Well, they've done the extension,
yeah.
and they're also still working on the extension. The driveway is at the side, so where they've done the extension, the driveway is at the side, and there's the fence sort of in limbo at the moment, so they're going to have to do something with the fence. But I was still a bit confused as to what we've been asked to do this.
Yeah, it's not very
It's got-
well.
Yeah, this is just about the new cavity wall in the window, isn't it? The front window, so
Because when you look at
This
it,
bit of the
this
front.
window,
because when you look at it like that, at the moment it's breeze box.
right, so we're obviously going to knock it through then, if they get permission. And is this the wall, or is it on the outside? Right.
And on the original application, where that new window, where that new window was shown, that line of the building between the doorway entrance and the toilet was a little bit back. It's actually now level with the front of the house.
Oh, this bit, yeah.
New window. Yeah.
So making up your mind if it's a minor, or if you're happy to go with it.
look at everything. The whole lot seems to be more than 50%, doesn't it, of the whole house now? So this is what.
It's big.
So it's a very big extension. I'm not. And the X of it again, it takes it over to 50% or gets it very close to 50%. So that's one reason why I'm not desperately keen on this particular extension. I mean, it does take it right up to the paper, essentially, doesn't it, as we know. And I can see why they want them. They're going to have a room there and we feel a bit of light. That's, so I can see why.
So I'm going to work out what it is. I have the site plan or something. This one.
There's a bit more detail. Proposed plot plan halfway down. This one.
I think this particular application is just for that window front.
Filling it in with
Lewis has already agreed to this
Yeah.
other than this window.
It is a substantial extension, isn't
Oh, you could argue, Chair, on one level, sorry, to me,
it? Yeah.
but they're taking away some of the car park at the back and then putting it back to the front again. So it's got advantages of what they're trying to do overall. So in the scheme of things, it's relatively minor, so amendment. So I think they don't have any choice but to support it.
I was going to say, there's no room for parking at the front, it's all at the side of that.
Yeah.
There's nothing at the front. Yeah, so that would be existing double car park to be removed. Is this where they're putting the fence in? New 750mm high channel wall. And then put a 6 foot fence, yes, so they'd have to extend it out because the way it's been done at the moment, the fence is sort of in between, it's on the boundary of where the existing property is. So where they put the extension, yes, they would need to move the fence to actually
So
close it within.
Got a double driveway with the new council camera.
Again, all that was already agreed and approved by Lewis. I'm not sure that we're debating that. It is just this window at the front.
It's just this alteration of
The window and
the
the
window and the cavity wall.
So
So
we could accept it.
so you're proposing that?
Yes, I propose it. Yeah.
Is that right, second? And now show of hands are supporting this application. Those against? Abstaining?
Abstaining.
Thank you. It's carried. Planning applications received week commencing the 24th of June. LW/24/0436, 22 Sterling Avenue, retrospective ancillary annex rear garden. Members of the public are to open to the committee.
It's an interesting application because obviously it's used for full accommodation, bathroom, bedroom, and everything that goes with that. It's sort of self-contained, and even though the applicant does say there's other properties nearby do have outbuildings, but I don't think they necessarily got recent outbuildings. If something with what's described, there's a difference between a reasonable garbage shed or an office compared to full accommodation. So this is where it's come to us. But there's also the height level as well. Even if it wasn't used for that, it goes over a certain height. So again, even if it wasn't used for accommodation for living, then it would still come into full planning permission. But obviously comes to neighbours' attention, just by the by, because obviously some noise levels, I don't think it's necessarily planning permission as such, music levels, that's slightly diminishing it really. but it's by the by. So that's just an opening. I mean, aesthetically, it looks okay, but I mean, you've got the neighbours nearby, so I'll see what the others got to say anyway.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Howard?
Yeah, I did try to find seats when you can't, it's all touched around the back. But the neighbourhood plan does make it clear that you're not meant to put residential living is not meant to be in the back of people's garden. We made the exception a little while ago, but locked it all down for the person, for the carer. But you know, sympathise with the fact that the people's son is now homeless. But it's not meant to be for residential. It's not meant to be residential.
Is it showing a toilet on those plans?
So,
Is it showing a toilet on those plans?
Yeah. Which isn't meant to be for
Yeah.
that location.
if it's in the neighbourhood plan, we should really abide by it. Any other comments? Councillor Buchanan?
I'm not super familiar with the neighbourhood plan, but apologies. I mean, you'd have to dig out pretty much the words that explain that.
What we did with the other one that Olivia said about was our comments were tying it to that original property, just to sort of get around any concerns. But with that one, it had separate access. It had like a driveway access. This one's got a pathway access. But that's because we had concerns about future Airbnb letting sort of situation. So it's whether we comment in a similar way, but it's a different situation. Before it was to do with a much more sort of personal situation with the
It's to do with carers and
Yeah, because kind of like if you read the documents, you could say that the person who owns the property is not caring for the son, is it? You could argue that. But he's an adult and everybody goes to that, he hasn't got care of us. As far as I know, obviously that would be different if he was, if they were the care of him, wouldn't it? And that's but what we know so far is not, is it? Is the situation.
The situation. The temporary can become permanent. I can't see the zones. But we need to, if we support it, we need to refer to the neighbourhood plan and say, you know, that
Well, either way, they're
it's,
the same plan.
it's, you know, like a
Either
time
way.
limit.
I'd find the specifics.
Councillor Buchanan.
From a sustainability point of view, if we reject it and Lewis rejects it, it will need to be put down. That's the deal.
or they just don't use it as a residential property.
Which is basically the neighbourhood plan, isn't it?
Residential property, living accommodation. But as a, like a workshop,
Yeah, it's a workshop.
there's no problem.
Or a working from home office.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, because as it said, there are plenty of those around, but they're not being lived on.
Living accommodation. Proposing, and that's that find a seconder.
So what we propose, sorry.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to dig out what
Yeah.
we've said in our neighbourhood plan about non-residential buildings being erected.
We're going to
But we are going to say about, because obviously we don't want them to have to, in a sustainability way, we wouldn't want them to have to remove the building, but you wouldn't object to it being like a workshop or an office or
Yeah.
working from home situation.
That's good.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay. So that's find a seconder? Councillor Cannon. I can have a show of hands, please. That's unanimous. LW stroke 24 stroke 0431 Arlington House, 4 Pearl Road, demolition of the upper parts of 2 chimneys. Thank you. Open to the committee? Councillor Hammond.
Well, I think they've probably become a bit due to maintenance more than anything. That's why I think they reduced the size. I think it's become a little bit too much to keep them there. Not really doing much apart from decorative. So that's my reason for it. That's what I'm looking at. So I've got no objection to it.
Anybody else? Councillor Hammond.
I agree with that sentiment. It's not a listed building, is it?
It's in a
It's
conservation
a
area.
conservation, I know.
Councillor Cannon.
I've got no objection.
I'm not on my own here, I just think it spoils the character of the house. Because basically they're saying the damp is coming in, but you've still got to replace whatever height the chimneys are, so, you know, it's not necessary. Why can't we go back to the same height or even level with the roof line? Anyway, it's your decisions. Before and after.
Before and after. They're now, they're now.
Can we flip across a couple of times?
Yes.
And then we go to
No, I'm still saying.
I wouldn't turn it down for it.
You're gonna
I'll propose for it to go ahead. and have it.
support it. I find a seconder. I'll give Councillor Cannon and a show of hands of supporting this application. Supported. LW stroke 24 stroke 0423 Mason Road, single storey rear extension. Open to the committee. Councillor Whittle.
Tell you what it was. I thought this was fine, this is on the back, and it's only single story, so I don't have any issues with it.
Any other comments? Can you find a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. I thought it's an integral effectively. It fills a gap there, so I was happy to ask the second just.
Yeah, just improves what's there at the moment, isn't it? Okay, then I have show of hands of support in this application. Supported. Planning applications received in the week commencing Monday the 1st of July. LW stroke 24 stroke 0440 25 to 35 Church Street. Replacement of existing windows to flats 25 to 35. Going to the Councillor Cannon.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I would support this. The only thing I would, and if there's another issue that comes up with another application, I don't mention if it's double glazing, triple glazing, when they're replacing it. I couldn't see any mention that. I'm assuming it's not seen that. I don't know, I can't remember if there's an actual
Just
statement
imagine
or
they
something.
would,
On the other one later, it does refer to the type of glazing that's been replaced with. see. Yes,
Depends on what
oh,
it
it
is
does
now.
say okay. It doesn't say the U value, because there's a big difference between a U value of 3 for the double glazing I have at home, and the U values you can actually achieve now. I'm assuming it would have to meet building regs.
Okay.
I've got a question, if you can find the answer, help me. The front retaining the sash windows, would those sash windows still be double glazed, or would it be just one pane?
Sorry, you can get double glazed sash.
In timber in the front, but okay, I'm assuming they're doing double glazed for the front as well, and I don't know what they thought they would do that if they haven't got them already.
I think the
So
front
the
is
access
all
statement
light
as well.
white.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to support it.
It's just the one at the rear, which is UPVC,
Yeah.
which doesn't matter because it's only the front of the building and it's a conservation area.
It's too
Can I have a proposal, please, Councillor Hanlon? Supporting. Seconded.
One second.
Thank you. And can I have a show of hands, please? Show of hands. LW stroke 24 stroke 0323 9 Richardson Way. Prior notification under the Town and Country Planning General Committee Development England Order 2015 as amended. Schedule 2 Part 1 Class A for a single storey rear extension to measure 3.5 metres, total length 3 metres eaves height and 3 metres total height. Open to the committee. That's all, Karen.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to say it probably needs the local plan. It's an extension at the back. And this section is quite a low line extension.
Yeah.
I'm not supportive.
Yes, it's very, very small, narrow. Yes, it's a very small, narrow property, and there is room at the back to do this. The front at the moment is just all breeze blocked again, not sure, but that's breeze blocked. But yeah, I thought it was okay to do as long as this is as long as it sticks within the what areas you're allowed to cover, and it is under the size. But yeah, it is very narrow, it'll certainly make a difference to what they can do there.
Secondly.
Sorry, just a point of trying to understand. I think they're saying that it's permitted development. So therefore, what are we actually voting on?
If they get an objection, it does go to planning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't need to object to the fact that this is permitted development.
It's description, it's prior to approval. So if you had an issue, then it would have to go to full planning.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
Any other comments? So can I show my support of this application? SDMP stroke 24 stroke 02721 stroke LIS Egypt House, Bratton Lane, Bishopstone Village. replacement of 2 wooden framed windows to the rear of the property to new hardwood windows to match existing and with double glazed units. That's it.
So yes, thank you. So just a quick one. That drawing
Sorry, I
there,
didn't ask.
sorry.
No, it's all right.
That drawing there, 32312, it says as existing. And on the list of documents, it's actually described existing and proposed. But there is no drawing to show the proposed, so I'm assuming that as existing is where the windows are going to be, they're not doing anything else. It's a little bit pedantic, but
Yeah,
there's
this,
nothing that says proposed. So I'm just assuming it's what you see is what you get.
yeah. In actual fact, there's a little bit of history to this application, but basically we've got a feeling this application will be withdrawn with a new set of plans because of insufficient information. I mean, I can tell you exactly what they're going to do, but it's obviously like, because it's a grade 2 listed building, it's the conservation people want more detail. So it may be coming back to us as we can.
I suspect that's what we're going to see here then.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the rear window is just a single glazed softwood frame window. It's a bathroom window, which one half is one side and the other half is the other side of the dwelling. And it's been replaced with hardwood double glazed. But, as I say, the conservation people want more information as the plans are not being done professionally. So that's what
I think, in principle, I think it's a good idea to upgrade these kind of buildings whenever possible, whilst maintaining character. Perhaps around this table we don't have sufficient information to understand that part of it, but in principle I think, replacing single buildings and not buildings is the way to do it.
Just for observation, I noticed the map was done in March 21, so that's quite interesting in that respect, but I mean, just to by the by. So maybe there's been obviously things on that over the years, they may
yeah,
have
well, I think
things to touch on.
the last lot of plans which were before us were for the 4 chimneys. And I think that's probably where the 21 comes from. That's what happened.
And this also, there's no U value given for this glazing system. It just says double glazed.
So,
Well, you can get a range of U values for, and even if you're going for building regs, you can actually exceed building regs if you choose the right block.
That's a bigger glass.
Yes,
And the gap as well.
the elusivity of the surfaces of the maps.
so would you like to, do you want to propose either accepting this application as what you see before you, or say that there's insufficient information?
I'm happy to
It's
go
no-
through as is and let the
You get to consideration, make those final heritage decisions.
Yeah, the heritage one. I'm sure there'll be a heritage report in it. It won't be if it's not already there. I mean, we obviously want a good quality UVC, don't we, if we want.
Or wooden, you see.
Or wooden, yeah,
These
yeah.
are actually timber.
Yeah.
Wooden to this. So,
What's going to propose?
I would propose that this is fine, what you see is, I agree with it, I support it.
Is that fine, second? So, can I have a show of hands, please? It's carried. tree work applications, TW/24/0065/TPO, Belgrave Place, Wilmington Road. We've just got sycamore, bound reduction. That's the home.
This seemed very short and sweet with the information that they'd given.
Did you drive past it?
No, because I didn't quite. I did drive past it, but I didn't stop to actually go and see this tree because.
Because on Google Maps it kind of leans over onto the road. You know, I don't know how long the pictures are on Google
Well,
Maps.
that's because we went to Wilmington, the other part, not the actual bit where the tree was in.
Oh, yeah.
But it also needs current, and it's a sycamore, so.
Support the application.
Yeah.
Is that fine to second it? Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the right time of year to actually be cutting trees back.
And you wouldn't do it now.
No.
We mentioned, although we support it, for it to be trimmed back in
Exactly.
Time, yeah.
time of year.
Yeah. I think sycamore's bleeding though, a couple of them.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, Councillor?
Yeah, as long as it's done at the right time of year.
Okay, can I show of hands supporting this application? That's unanimous. So we move on to agenda item 5, page 65, update report. It's to notify the committee of decisions taken by Lewes District Council on applications previously considered by the committee. And we're asked to note the report unless you've got any questions. No? So, no show of hands noting the report. Agenda item 6. South Wales National Park Local Plan engagement. To notify the committee of the South Wales National Park Authority's early engagement on updating the South Wales Local Plan and to invite feedback. This is printed off the questionnaire. I don't know if you've all had time to read and take all in section.
It's the 3 separate documents.
Yeah. Well, if you
Suggestion. So I think if you're happy, I think if you could go away and have a look at them and maybe send your feedback to me, what I'll do is then I'll draft something and I'll present it to you at a later meeting so that we've got something to work on. So if you could send me through any thoughts on each of those documents and also for this initial survey, I'll then bring a draft basically along. Okay. Yeah, that's the point. When was the deadline?
16th of September.
16th of September. So, shall I, I've done up my minutes and everything, I'll send an email to you all just as a bit of a prompter, so you can then just reply straight to that email and I'll give you a date.
Yeah, dates are always good.
Yeah.
Is there any questions about it you want to ask now?
So can I just double check? A neighbour of mine said she was sending in a comment to you. I don't know whether she has or not.
Yes. I've had a comment about some of the specific documents.
I'm not sure. She just told me that she'd sent it in.
Yeah, okay, what I'll do is I'll share that with the committee when we're looking at formulating our response.
Okay.
Councillor Cameron.
These documents, project initiation document, local zone scheme, tentative, I couldn't access those when I clicked on it.
Yes, the links were broken, but they're fixed now. We send them to you if you're happy.
I could open this one, which is
Yeah.
this one, but
If you go on the South Downs National Park, yeah, the
Consultation bit.
National Park local plan, you can get those.
Those
Yeah,
three ones.
if you go direct to the South
This is
National
new.
Park. Yeah. And it's the update of
The links have now been done because I queried the fact I couldn't do the links and those either. So it's now been sorted out and you just need simple.
I'll pop it in the email I send anyway as a prompter, so then you can just go straight onto the link. And then, sorry, just through you, Chair, the other thing just to note is just obviously as a town council, we're helping to promote this to anyone that we have in our network, just so that we can share the message and help them to get as many responses as possible.
Okay, so this will be a Seaford Town Council coordinated response.
yeah.
Fine.
Which is why I think it would be best that we bring a draft to look at, so that then we can just make any edits to that and send the final, rather than try and do that now. I just sort of throw in comments.
So for you, Chair, so you're thinking of having maybe in 6 weeks' time having an item on again, maybe? That would be
I'll
about
look
right,
at-
wouldn't it?
Yeah, so when I email you all, I will put in a deadline for giving your feedback to me,
Yeah.
and then I will tell you what meeting the draft will be on.
You've got to have
And I'll work that
bigger
out. I'll go
discussion.
backwards from the deadline
Yeah.
and work out the best meeting for us to take this to next.
And there might be something you might want to add at that meeting, which we can include,
Yeah.
which will still be in the time frame. That's okay.
So, I've just noticed here when I was looking going through the survey, this talks about this vision is up to 2050. So when one answers these questions about what we'd like to see Park be, you're doing it from the context of what you experience now, not in 25 years. Interesting. How often do they update this, do you know? Or do they?
The last, oh gosh, when was the last one?
Our neighbour plans 2019, yeah, it would have been before 2018.
Yeah, I think it was when
2015
we were
or 16.
district together.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the last administration,
No,
it was
it's
the one before.
That must have been 14, 15.
Yeah, it's around that, isn't it?
It's just an interesting kind of mindset one might have when one's answering the questions. Are you just doing it up to the next time it gets updated in 5 or 6 years' time? Or are you actually projecting to 2050? Oh dear.
See, it's probably younger people.
Yeah, no, it's
you know,
important actually.
Like
This
young people.
is sort of, yeah.
Probably can do that more than probably our age group, you know, it's open to everybody.
I should alert my Gen Z daughters to this.
So they'll probably have a different vision. from
I'm sure
us.
she's got a completely different vision. Yes.
Okay, so, unless there's any other questions? I think we just need to
Yeah, so I think what we'd be looking is the recommendation would be changed, and what we'd be saying is that sort of the resolution being looked at now is to have you send your feedback to me, and I will formulate a draft to present at the next meeting, or whenever is appropriate. And I'll put that into better wording, isn't it?
So I can have a proposer and a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Hanlon, and seconded by Councillor Cannon. And a show of hands, please. It's unanimous. Thank you very much. And that concludes the meeting at 7:55.